It would have an initial sales spike due to excitement, and then legitimately nobody's gonna care. And that's exactly what happened. Oh gosh. I think I'm taking too many red pills. Guys, how do I unplug from the Matrix?
I guess those pills I take every morning are not for allergies, but rather to connect to the Matrix. Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of the iTunes Fan Podcast. As always, I'm Teddy Magger from the iTunes Fanboy.
And my name is Alpha DeWolf.
And I guess we could get started with our first topic, which I forgot to add this one in there, but we are using FaceTime. We switched back to FaceTime because Alpha decided to delete Discord.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if Discord didn't decide to get all scummy in demanding your ID for... They claim it's for age verification.
I mean, this is nothing new. I'm surprised you didn't do it too sooner in that case.
Yeah, but now, even after the backlash, I thought that the Discord community would backlash so much that Discord would decide, you know what? Maybe it's not worth pissing everybody off like this, but nope! They decided to double down on it. So, that's the case. Well, then they don't deserve my business.
Yeah, well, we switched to FaceTime initially because of bandwidth issues a lot of bandwidth issues that we had with FaceTime, because FaceTime back in 2020, we used to use FaceTime until I think October. Let me actually look back through my records of Discord, because I can probably figure out when we started using Discord via records, or downloading update 1 of 1. This is one thing I won't miss about Discord. Okay, we're having some collaboration issues. Oh well. Downloading update 1 of 1. I think it was October 2022. I'm just double checking. So it was in the middle of season 2.
Yeah, we've been using Discord for a long while.
And we also, and our calls also kept getting hijacked by an uninvited guest, to say the least, especially when we did more than 2 people. So we sort of had, and another thing, the reason why we switched to Discord is because that way our guests don't have to give out their personal emails or phone numbers.
Yeah. I mean, we can do FaceTime links now.
But remember, our calls kept getting hijacked with FaceTime links. That's
true. But to my knowledge, the person who's been hijacking us is in prison right now.
Actually?
So. Well, it's not 100% confirmed, but due to the fact that he's basically gone radio silent, I think that means the authorities finally caught up to him. I mean, he legitimately is a criminal. So, I think the authorities finally caught up to him, but...
And just FYI, if you're an earlier viewer and know who I'm talking about, please don't comment anything about that guy just in case.
We wish not to see this...
again.
Yeah.
Okay, and Discord won't open.
So...
Keeps getting stuck on downloading update 1 of 1.
It always does that. For me, it takes like 15 hours for it to process correctly.
All right, well, anyway, it'll be interesting to see how this FaceTime thing works. Yeah. So shall I move on to our next topic?
Sure. Ooh, there's 3 topics about me. I guess I'm the star of the show again today.
It's definitely my show. Well, it's our show, but
so. There's everyone's cue to tune out. So, first things first, the work PC is finally done. It is
you
at
got
the
your
office.
graphics card the next
I've been using it
after we recorded.
Yeah.
Our last episode.
Yep. So I've been using it for about a week now, and oh, does it fix so many issues. For one, I can start it up. And it doesn't have this stupid bug where it won't detect the GPU. I can finally start it up, and it detects the GPU first try.
Was that an issue you had when you first built it?
No, my XPS has been doing this
right.
the entire time. Basically, a year after I got it, some update came through, be it a BIOS update or a GPU driver update. I don't know what it is, but basically a year after I got it, all of a sudden it just started to stop detecting the GPU on boot. I'd have to restart it like 10 times before it actually detects, hey, there's an NVIDIA GPU in this thing. Why don't we, I don't know,
doesn't it
use
take like
it?
15 minutes for you just to get your computer to start properly with recognizing the GPU?
It is such an annoying bug. It was so annoying. I mean, I still have my XPS and I'm still using it, but it's been demoted. Its performance has been a little lackluster, and so it's kind of been demoted. It's not gone completely. It's still very handy. In fact, I was using it just a little bit before the show, trying to model up a future house design. So there's that. But I'm not using it for majority of my work stuff. Although it is nice to still be able to have a laptop I can carry throughout the shop instead of having it tied to my desk. So, yeah, I'll still use the XPS even for work. But no, when it comes to doing sit-down interrogating CAD models, that's what I got that's what I built the PC for. It's a massive upgrade from the XPS.
And now we'll probably never see that PC again on this podcast, so...
Yep. Oh, I should note, when the GPU arrived the next day after we recorded last week, the box looked like it's been to hell and back.
Did you send that picture to the group chat or not?
I don't think I did. If I come to think of it, I actually threw the box out because it was ripped and torn in shambles, and I threw it out basically the day I brought the computer to the office. You recall the short I made on the Drive channel?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So I made that short.
Oh, that was the computer box.
Yeah. So in my car, I had a bunch of cardboard boxes that I did not need, and I just wanted gone out of this space. I still have to take care of the rest of those behind me, but I just had so many cardboard boxes that I just want gone. I have no use for them. I just wanted them gone. So I decided to load them up in my car, and after I packed it up, I realized this would make a good way to prove to people I don't need a crossover. More on that in a few minutes. But nonetheless, no, I fit all of those boxes, and I was a bit nervous about having the computer just in the trunk by itself, free to scoot around and all that, so I would have done exactly what I did with that PC anyways. I put it in the back seat and strapped the seatbelt around it to keep it secured, because I did not want that thing scooting around. So, but yeah, that proved my point. Guys, sedans are pretty practical. I had the trunk completely filled to the brim with boxes and packing materials and styrofoam and all that. And I had my computer in the back seat, and I still had enough space for 2 more passengers.
Wow, I guess it turns out that sedans are practical, but we already knew that. So shall we move on to our next topic, which is not anything we've really discussed on the show?
Yeah, sure thing. Scrolling down here. Oh, yep. Oh, the microwave.
Is that work or at your house?
It's here at home.
What brand was it?
So, I come home one day, and I found the microwave door just left open. So, I was a bit confused. Why was it left open? And then my mom walks into the kitchen and says, "Oh yeah, the microwave's doing something weird. Close it and listen for what happens." It's buzzing.
I'm guessing. So that means a circuit shorted.
Yeah, so if I had to guess, when the doors open, it has a safety interlock in there that, or a safety relay that will break the circuit to all of the power electronics that powers the microwave. So that's why I wasn't doing it when the door was open. But if you close the door, yeah, you could hear it buzzing, and that meant that it basically shorted itself.
So you're buying another microwave, I guess.
On to number 4.
What brand was the old microwave?
I think it was Whirlpool.
Oh yeah, Whirlpool appliances have not been known for their quality.
The sad thing is we have a lot of them. Though we've been switching away as we've been updating our appliances, like the dishwashers, General Electric, our washing machine and dryer is Samsung. Those have been really good to us, actually. Our fridge is still Whirlpool, but we've had that basically the entire time I've lived in this house. So, the only thing that's broken on the fridge so far is the water line. The water line sprung a leak in the freezer by the ice maker, so we can't make ice in it anymore. But other than that, it still functions as a fridge and freezer.
So you just have to get ice trays.
Yeah, and that's what we've been doing. It's fine.
Or else you
it
can
works.
leave them outside in the winter.
That is an option
It's
here,
not
at least.
even down here, it's not really much of an option since there's very few since even if it's since most days, first of all, most days down here does get above freezing a little bit, and even if it's below freezing, it's usually still warm enough to warm up the ice tray. So leaving ice trays outside around here, which I did have to do because we just had to get a new fridge, that's not really an option down here. But what brand are you going to get this time?
Yep. Well, we haven't replaced the microwave yet because we have a crap ton of money going out already as is, and so we're just waiting for a break. So in the meantime, we are rewarming stuff in saucepans and in the oven, and just living without a microwave at the moment.
I mean, to be honest, I don't think microwaves are quite as crucial as most people think, since I literally never use the microwave for my own food.
I mean, when you think about it, the only time anybody ever uses a microwave is to reheat leftovers.
Yeah, or do stuff like that, which an oven can do often even better. Sure, it takes longer, but it often tastes better anyway if you reheat it in an oven, which is why basically everything I do is in the oven. Or else the air fryer, which is just a mini convection oven.
Yep. But, no, nonetheless, I'm surprised how long that microwave lasted, though. It lasted about 15 years, come to think of it. Which is a lot better than our last microwave, because our last one only lasted 3 months.
Ah.
That one fried itself instantly.
Yeah, I was about to say, those last two had to be very short-lived. You had them for 15 years, because you're not that old. I mean, you're over 15, obviously, but...
I think the last one was a KitchenAid. Yeah, I think it was a KitchenAid. I think that's what the last one was.
I think our current microwave is Black & Decker, I think. Our current oven, which you just got replaced to, is a KitchenAid, and our new current fridge, which just got replaced, is a Frigidaire, and we have I think it's a Kenmore wash dryer combo, yeah, and then our house is so old that we don't have a dishwasher.
I mean, hey, our summer house doesn't have a dishwasher either.
When we do
But also, in fairness, you're a house of 2 people. Doing the dishes is not
No.
that bad of a job for a house of 2 people.
Yeah, no, we don't. No, we just. And we don't even use many. We just use a few dishes, and we just basically wash the same ones over and over again. So it's not like we. So yeah, Mom, we have my mom when we do redo the kitchen, my mom will put a dishwasher in there.
Yep. I'm still designing my kitchen. That's exactly what I was doing right before the show. I was trying to design the kitchen of my house.
Shall I move on to our next topic? The Alpha will probably take a long side tangent
final
on.
thing where I'm still starring the show. I'm officially on the hunt for a second vehicle. So, I don't know if I provided too much context to you in the group chat, but basically what happened, for reference, we had a massive snowstorm come in, and it ended up snowing so hard, the snow was above the bumper of my car, Stardust, which, for reference, in case you guys don't know, look up a 2019 Buick LaCrosse. That's what Stardust is. And, yeah, the snow was above the front splitter, so I tried to push my way through all of it because, well, I'm not good with starting snow blowers, and the plow truck for the house is... If it was just a regular fuel-injected engine, I'd have no problems firing up the plow and just plowing out the driveway. I would have done that just fine, but the problem is the plow truck has a carbureted engine, and it is way more difficult to start carbureted engines the bigger they are compared to small, like, snowblower engines. So, did not want to plow because there was no way I could start the truck. So, led me to my only option, just gunning it through the snow. And I made it all the way to the end of the driveway until I hit such a soft spot and the car bottomed out completely.
Did you get to work?
3 hours late, but yeah, I made it to work. Well, let me be more specific. I made it to work. The car didn't.
Oh, I see what happened. Okay.
Yeah. So the car was stuck at the end of the driveway. It took a bunch of tries to get it out. And what sucks is I wouldn't be as frustrated of it getting stuck if they at least provided a provision to attach a tow strap. But there's nothing to attach a tow strap to. So that means you can't pull it, so you'd have to push. But if you push it, you're going to start cracking bumpers and breaking all sorts of other stuff. It's just... I am amazed at how the fact that this car was designed, engineered, and built in the very state of Michigan. I'm not even joking. It was all designed, engineered, and even built and assembled in Michigan. And it seems like they completely forgot winter weather performance.
Well, not only winter weather performance, but also the fact that you have to tow a car sometimes.
Yeah, so sometimes the car will become disabled and you'll need to pull it up on a flatbed. I have no idea how the heck that's supposed to happen because there is no safe point to attach a tow strap to on the car. So, it's a problem in the winter. And yesterday finally proved the point. it's just not good enough for winter driving. And so now I need to find a new car. I would have taken the Yukon, except, oh wait, my sister is without her car, so she needs the Yukon.
What car does your sister drive? Oh, the Volkswagen.
She bought the... Yeah, she bought the old silver Buick
Oh,
for my parents.
that's right.
Yep, but it has no brakes. Actually, today it was just dropped off at the auto shop to get its brake serviced. But yeah, she's been driving the Yukon, and so I can't use it because then she's without a car.
Can't you just say that she can't get anywhere because she's homeschooled and because you have a job? Well, she doesn't.
She has a job too, though.
Right, I forgot how old she is.
Yep. Yeah, she's pretty close to your age.
Yeah, I knew
actually.
she was somewhere around there. I think she's a little younger than me, but yeah.
But yeah, she does have a job. She has places to go. And so she needs a car. So I'm officially on the hunt, and I think I found the type of vehicle that I'm looking to get for Winter Daily. As much as both Teddy and I have discussed on the show many times, everybody knows at this point just how much we loathe the idea of crossovers. I'm most likely going to end up buying one.
Yeah, I mean, that, to be honest, it makes sense for what you need, since you just need a little car you can throw around that's not that expensive and not too worn down. So it doesn't make much sense for me because I live a little bit too far south to have to worry about a daily winter car. But you need a winter car, so
yeah. Yeah, and I'm not going to find a sedan with... Because part of the whole reason everybody loves crossovers is because they've got more ground clearance for your off-roading capabilities.
Oh, did I tell you about the time I went off-roading in my... The other time I went off-roading in my car?
No, you have not.
So, first of all, I not only rode up the dirt road to path to one of my friend's houses one time in my car. That was in June, though, but the real off-road experience I had was a week ago it was a week ago Tuesday, and I was at my school, and I had to park in a different area that wasn't a parking lot because the parking lot was full, and so I had to draw, and so in order to pull out, I veered around into the grass area, except because I was right after the alley storm, it was still very, very muddy. So yep. I got my car in so much mud, and I could not move it forward because my car got stuck. So I had to I was able to back it up just enough, but then the next day I had to take my car into a car wash and get the more expensive wash than usual than the basic one, just to get that off. And now my car's filthy again because it's now pollen season.
Yeah. So. No, yeah, sedans can definitely go off-road. In fact, for the most part, I've been daily driving front-wheel drive sedans for the past 5 years now. And for the most part, they've never really been that big of a problem. Except for the anomaly when we get a blizzard rolling through in the middle of the night and you have all this snow and the plows aren't out yet. It's just that's the one time I can't depend on the car. But other than that, once the roads are plowed, or if we only get just a light snowfall, which I wish was more often than not, usually it's a heavy snowfall, but I've been daily driving my sedan even in the wintertime for years, and it's never been that big of a problem until finally it's gotten completely out of control where I legit cannot show up to the office and I keep getting stuck in my own driveway. And even though it doesn't happen that often, it still happens often enough where, yep, I'm now going to need a vehicle with ground clearance. And so I'm most likely going to end up buying a crossover. I'm looking to not spend that much money. It's probably going to be like $6,000, which to some people that might seem like you're getting a nice used car for $6,000, but well, I don't know. Last time I paid $1,000 for a car, it was that was not a fun experience. So I want to make sure that in the 1% of scenarios where I actually need to drive it, it starts and it drives. That's all I need it to do. And I don't think I can trust a $1,000 car to do that.
Yes,
I've tried it before. It did not work. So, yeah, I'm looking to spend like roughly around $6,000. And I found a car, a really nice, well, I found a type of car, not a specific one yet, but I found a type of car. It's in the range of a 2013 to 2015 GMC Terrain. And I am surprised you can actually pick up Terrain Denali's for $6,000.
not bad.
Yeah. And the Terrain checks all of the criteria that I'm looking for. I need it to be cheap. $6,000, in my opinion, is considered cheap. So, it's cheap. It has 7 inches of ground clearance, which by Stardust is under 5. I've measured. Stardust does not even have 5 inches of ground clearance. So, it's almost I'm almost doubling my ground clearance with that. And the final criteria, I think it's time to go all-wheel drive.
Yeah, I mean, I get it for the snow. I mean, that's why my dad generally prefers to go all-wheel drive on all his vehicles if he can. His M6 does not have all-wheel drive, though. My car does, though.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's my top 3 criteria that I'm looking for in a cheap car, which is, needs to be cheap. So, $6K, in my opinion, is considered cheap. All-wheel drive, and actually has ground clearance. And the reason why I think the Terrain is perfect is it meets all that criteria, but also at the same time, I'm not buying a giant truck with a thirsty V8.
I mean, I get that. And also, aren't most of the trucks in your area that you can get for that cheap also super worn down and rusty anyway?
Yeah, if you're in UP, Michigan, and you're buying a $6,000 truck, that's a red flag. You need to spend more on it, because all of the $6,000 trucks are completely rusted out. They have engines that need lots of repair, drivetrains that are just tired, and those are trucks for $6,000 around here. It's just, they get used and they get beaten. And I still can't believe people try to sell their trucks for as much money as they do. They're asking way too much for those pieces of trash. So, no, yeah, a truck, I will get one at some point, but the primary reason why I know I'm going to get one at some point is I need something that will take out garbage. I'm not doing that in a sedan. I don't want to ruin my nice interior with the smells of trash. Yeah, but then also when I have the house built and I moved out of this one and moved into my new house, then I'll need a plow. So I'll need a plow to plow out my driveway. And I'll need a truck for that, because you're not... There are some people that'll hook a plow up to an SUV, but not really. Their frames are not particularly meant for severe impact like that. So, yeah, I know I'm going to get a truck at some point. It's just, now's not the time. And I also don't really have the money for a truck, a good
Yeah.
truck, anyways. So, I just want to get a cheap car, something that I don't have to care about too much, but has the ability to get me from point A to point B during a blizzard. So, yeah, that's basically what I'm looking for. So, if anyone knows of any terrain Denali's for 6K, feel free to send them my way on Twitter.
Yeah, I'll have to see. I don't know if anybody else haven't looked. So yeah, there's that. But shall we move on to our next topic?
Yeah, let's finally get into this. Is a tech show. Let's get into the tech news.
So Apple announced a special event for March 4th.
It's a bit weird because it's not at Apple Park. It's at New York.
Yeah.
When's the last time they've held an event in New York, aside from the Fifth Avenue Apple Store stuff?
Have they done it before?
They've done a few New York shows. What was the last thing they did at New York?
Apple's last New York.
They did something just before the Steve Jobs Theater was officially finished. I think it was 2016.
Yeah, that would make sense because New York's a very theatrical city. I was about to say, I know Apple's done stuff in New York before, but it's very rare.
So yeah, come to think of it, it's been 10 years since they've done an event at New York. So, from what I'm hearing, in terms of the rumors and what could be announced at said event, there's the iPhone 17e that may potentially be announced there. And then also, I think it's mostly going to be centered around MacBooks.
Same.
Do you think we're going to see an A series chip MacBook? Come on, tongue work. Do you think we're going to see an A series chip MacBook debut?
I mean, rumors can be fake, and I don't personally want this thing to release. The problem is that that's going to completely cannibalize sales of the 13-inch MacBook Air. I wouldn't be surprised if it debuted at this event, even though I don't want it to.
I wonder what they're going to do to try to make the MacBook Air still look
Because Steve Jobs, when he designed his four box system, when he designed his 4-box line of computers, there was a professional grade laptop that was the PowerBook, the consumer grade laptop that was the iBook, the consumer grade desktop, which is the iMac, and then the professional grade desktop, which is the Mac, which is then Power Mac. And obviously the iBook and PowerBook can be translated today into the into the MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, and I just don't, because the MacBook Air really at this point now, especially with Apple Silicon, the MacBook Air, like I see so many more people with MacBook Airs these days. That I just think that in MacBook Air, it's not the. I'm not worried about this A series MacBook taking over 15-inch MacBook Air sales. I'm not all worried about that. But the 13-inch MacBook Air, I'm sorry. The types of people that are targeted for the first MacBook are just not going to be They don't care about chip performance, and honestly, most people don't really care about the difference between a 12.9 and 13-inch screen. Like, they just don't. So I just don't, because they know it's small anyway. So I just don't see this A series Mac. I just don't see a 13-inch MacBook Air making much sense if this A series MacBook releases were cheaper. Although, to be fair, the iPhone 16 the iPhone 16 coexists alongside the iPhone 17, and even though, to be honest, I think that's pointless. Like, I generally think the E series is enough for most people anyway. So just have an E or in a Pro or an equivalent.
Well, that's because in terms of iPhones, the quadrant's kind of been broken at this point, and now it's a complete hot mess. So,
like the iPhone 16 would sell so much.
I wonder with this A series MacBook, I wonder if they're going to do anything to either the port selection or the battery capacity to still try to keep the MacBook Air looking appealing.
I mean, honestly, I don't think that many average Joes care that much about port selections. There's a lot of average Joes not only use the cloud and AirDrop these days, but a lot of average Joes, especially at their offices, they'll plug it into a dock anyway. Like, a lot of people have gotten used to that concept anyway, from what I understand. So it's just not the. I think so. Even if it has limited port selection, I just don't think. And again, people are probably not going to know the differences anyway. So, I mean, as Tabby stated back in 2022, most people when they buy laptops, they focus on two things: the price and the screen size.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. And that's because for the longest time, I mean, the only other factor left I could think of is maybe battery life, but for the longest time, everyone's just all come to the conclusion, it doesn't matter which laptop you buy, the battery life sucks.
Yeah, same. So and besides, batteries degrade anyway over time anyway. So, and a lot more, and generally with the setting that you place laptops in, like, you're generally not going to be that far away from an outlet, so it's not like that matters anyway.
I mean, that's even typically the case with my XPS. It's never away from an outlet.
Exactly. And my MacBook Pro, I often use it on battery power, but that doesn't mean it's really never very far away from an outlet. So I just don't. And if you know the difference between port selection and care about the ports, then you're more than likely going to be buying a MacBook Pro.
Yeah, that's a good point. So that really means the only thing left that I would just wonder that matters is, like, would Apple shrink the battery capacity?
They probably would, but most average Joes don't. But most average Joes wouldn't care about that anyway. So yeah, that's that might be coming at this event. Some new iPads are coming, which means that if there's an iPad 12 gen, then that means that'll be what my school will buy for my senior year. So a high school, which is next year. So that'll mean they'll have an iPad 12 generation for school instead, which will be nice. Because we currently use 9th generation, then there will be a new iPad Air. Honestly, I think the iPad Air should just be axed at this point. It's just pointless. And then there might be a HomePod with a screen, which I don't care about since I have so many screens in my house anyway.
Oh, yeah. Neither do I. Just give me the speaker.
I used to honestly like the Echo Show because I liked the idea of having a screen that would just always be on rotate and show you stuff. I mean, nowadays I've realized I already have an iPad, MacBook, iPhone, and all these other devices that can show me content. So I don't need that usually. So I just don't see the point of smart displays in.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the Echo Shows and all of that, I see them as pointless because to me, an Echo Show is basically an iPad that is permanently attached to the wall. You can't unplug it.
It doesn't even work quite as well as an iPad. So yeah, I get exactly I get that point exactly, but that's really all we gotta say. So, shall we move on to our next topic that's actually very fascinating?
Apparently there's a leak about the design of Apple's offices.
So there's supposed former Apple employee on Twitter. I don't know if this is a real former Apple employee or not, but it looks like Apple's design lab. So this wouldn't shock me if it's true. But A former Apple employee posted about Apple's real design labs compared to in their marketing. You know how in their marketing material they show the labs is all fancy and whatnot?
With studio displays and
Yeah.
iPads all over
Well,
the place.
first of all, in Apple's real design labs, apparently they only have LG monitors. Apple doesn't even buy studio displays for all their employees. Apple doesn't even do that.
And you'd think they would especially do it for the design department. That's the one place where you definitely want access to a high quality screen. Oh wait, they'll come to think of it. Isn't the panel technology between the LG and the studio display exactly the same?
Or, I don't know, you think you would want a Pro Display XDR actually for design now I come to think of it.
Yeah, that would actually be more appropriate, them having Pro Display XDRs. Because when it comes to design, you want color accuracy. You want to make sure that you get the colors just... You know, maybe that's why it seems like they always screw up the colors every year. They're not using the Pro Display XDR.
Actually, you're kind of onto something. But, I mean, I'm honestly not surprised that Apple's real design labs are different. Since, I mean, they want to market themselves as pretty. I mean, it's like in most of those home renovation shows, how when they show the After Effects, like, they always use set-owned furniture rather than the actual homeowner's furniture.
Yeah.
Like, it's like that.
Speaking of home renovation, I think our house is the complete opposite of a before and after in terms of home renovation. Because every time we do something to renovate this house, the before is the house looking all nice, and the after... It's just an unfinished project.
What are some... At least your family finally did finish your room.
Yeah. So... Yeah, they finished this one. They finished the one in the basement. But the rest of the basement still doesn't have plaster up on all the walls. Our addition to the... over there, it's supposed to be the new laundry room. That still doesn't have drywall. It's not even properly insulated yet. I don't even think we have the heat turned on in that room yet. In the kitchen, all of the trim has been removed from the corridors and door sills and all that. And that's because my mom hated the green color that the kitchen was painted once upon a time. And so she decided to paint it two-tone brown.
Wow, that's so much better not.
I was thinking the exact same thing. So, but yeah, the trim never got put back up. So you see all of the drywall meeting the door frames and all that.
Looks like my kitchen.
The laundry room currently does not have... our current laundry room right now does not have a ceiling.
Why are you getting a new laundry room?
They want to move it from the main floor to upstairs.
I see.
So that way my mom doesn't have to walk all the way from that end of the house down to this end where the stairs are to the laundry room. Apparently she doesn't want to walk that far, so she wants to put it all on the same floor.
That makes sense, to be fair.
I mean, yeah, in fairness, where's most laundry done? Most of the time it's in bedrooms, and I mean that's where laundry typically exists, so yeah, it makes sense to have a laundry room upstairs. There's a lot of homes being built that way, actually. So it's not like it doesn't make any sense at all. Although I'm personally not designing my house that way.
Yeah, same, because doesn't it cost a lot more money to have a laundry room upstairs?
Well, it depends.
Or isn't there like some sort of reason why most of the time they put laundry rooms down in the basement or in the main floor?
They do it because it's closer to the utility panels.
Yeah.
And the further you get from those utility panels, the more it costs to get all the piping and the wiring. And if it's gas power. If it's a gas dryer, then you got to get ventilation in there as well. And so, yeah, the further you get from your main utility section within your house, then the more costly it gets. Now, at least for this house's new laundry room addition, it is literally being built right above the old one. So, from a flooring and planning standpoint, you don't have to spend that much extra in terms of wiring and piping and all of that, because we can just tap into the existing piping right below where the laundry room used to be, although it's still there because we haven't finished this one yet.
Why does your family start so many projects if they don't finish them?
Because my dad is the worst at finishing projects. Oh, did I mention we don't even have a porch? We had a porch. But we don't now.
Your dad, you need to tell your dad to start finishing these projects.
Yeah, that'll happen when he actually sleeps a full 8 hours.
If he's awake for less than 8 hours, then he has plenty of time to.
Yeah, all of those 8 hours are spent at the shop. So. Nonetheless, yeah, just what you mentioned, it's I don't know, when you brought up the home renovation thing, I just can't help but think, why is this house going backwards?
Because your dad's lazy, apparently. I mean, he's not lazy with his job, but he seems to be lazy with home renovating.
He works too hard.
On his actual job, not on the house.
So, nonetheless, what were we talking? Oh yeah, the studio designs, I guess. I mean, there's not much else to say.
Shall we move on to our next topic?
Yeah, what's next?
So, payday loan scammers ask victims to enter their card information into a phishing website or send money into Bitcoin wallet to someone's Bitcoin wallet to get payday loans, and the money is actually stolen. Your money, the victim's money, is stolen.
And that's why I am never quick to paying my bills. I mean, I pay my bills on time, but I'm never fast with it. I don't know how so many of these scams work. It's just...
Why don't you pay your bill? Well, it's because you're less gullible. But why don't? But do you have your bill set on all pay?
I have some of them. There's only 2 bills that I do not, and that's because I literally hand people cash directly. One of them is my mom, because she's managing the phone bill, and then the other is the credit union that I've got the loan with Stardust with. So, but I show up to each physical location with cash. Anybody remember that cool stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah.
Other than that, everything else, every other bill is on a credit card or something, and then I manually pay the credit card, so. It's fairly easy. Nonetheless, though, yeah, it's just another memo. Watch what you're putting your credit card information into.
Exactly. Or debit card information.
So. That too. Oh crap! I forgot to talk to my coworker about that.
Oh no.
I'll have to talk to him. No, it's not a scam. It's just he's looking to get a credit card. And I'm trying to get some of my referrals out there so I can earn some referral points.
Alright, shall I move on to our next topic also about probably a scam?
Yeah, what's this scam?
So this one I posted to Twitter YouTube to try to get Crazy Ken from the Computer Clan to review this one. But, so this one actually would help you quite a lot if it actually worked. These are scam glasses that are advertised, that I see ads for all the time on YouTube, that claim to automatically adjust to people's changing eyes without a prescription. It can even turn into sunglasses automatically. And the glasses only cost $80. Although you can also make them in easy payments of $30.
How much? I'm sorry. How much did you say in total?
So apparently you have to pay like $80, or else you can make easy payments of $30. Well, let me look at the website.
Okay, it should be really obvious that's a scam because I'm not talking the frames. These lenses alone cost $800.
Okay, so there's a sale up to 62% now, and stock is low. It's also said that they're as seen as on WebMD, USA Today, Wall Street Journal, NBC, New York Times, Medscape, NBC News, ABC News. Save up to 62% now. Let me see. Possibilities are in. They have. You have to adjust the lenses manual, apparently. So it's a special limited time offer when you.
That's also not
it's
how
also
it works.
A special.
You can't really. You can't adjust a lens manually. It's a fixed focus. Once the crystal solidifies, that's it. It's fixed. It ain't moving.
Also, you can pay. You can get a limited time offer and pay only $30 instead of $80. So these are $30 glasses. That's you can throw away your $800 ones.
I'm just gonna say, if any of you guys fell for this one. This might be the one time where I come across as a bit rude or rash, but no, if you legitimately fall for this one, you guys are complete idiots.
Agreed. For Alpha claims to be gullible, but he's revealing that it's not actually very gullible.
But no, I mean, I know how much these glasses cost. And the only thing fancy about these lenses, aside from the specific prescription they're at, is I got the... It is possible for these to actually work as sunglasses. In fact, when I'm outside, you see these exact lenses turn into sunglasses.
That is cool.
They're called transition lenses. Now, the one thing that I hate about these is they do not work when I want them to work most, which is when I'm in the car and driving.
That's literally the one time I wear. That's if you see me out driving and it's bright and sunny outside, or if the sun's bright, then you are going to see me with sunglasses on most of the time. Because I found that sunglasses are. I found that when I was little, I used to have a pair of sunglasses, but I would always wind up pitching them or losing them because I didn't find much of a use for them. But now that my aunt got me a pair for my birthday, for Christmas back in 2023, I think. No, it might have been Christmas 2024. I can't remember which one, but it was one of those Christmases, and I use those sunglasses still. I use those sunglasses still to this very day. Just about every day to drive. Every day it's sunny, I should say.
So that's the one thing about my glasses that drives me nuts. It's just the one time I want them to transition. They do not work in the car. They just straight up do not transition in the car.
Sunglasses.
I actually don't keep a separate pair of sunglasses in the car. I just use the sun visor. It works enough for me. The only time it really becomes a royal pain is, funny enough, it's not actually during summer. It's during winter.
Like, I find myself using sunglasses more in the winter. I still use sunglasses sometimes in the summer, but I use sunglasses a little bit more in the winter than summer.
Yeah, it's because when the sun reflects off the snow and directly into your eyes. That's when it's worse.
Luckily, I don't have to deal with that issue too much down here, but yeah, the sun is very annoying in the winter time. But luckily, where I live, there's not that much snow, but also this is a sad reality, is that most days in the winter, I'm not saying we don't get sun, because we do get sun. Like, there are days when we get sun, but it's not. But most of the time in the winter months is just cloudy where I am.
No, same here. Same here. And that's because we get a bunch of lake effect from Lake Superior.
Yeah, and also because we're farther away from the sun, so it's a lot harder to get sunny weather in winter.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the point is the technology for your normal glasses to transition into sunglasses, that exists. I am wearing it on my face right now, and you will see that when you watch videos of mine outside. In fact, I think pull up any drive video where I'm filming a car outside.
I remember now.
Yeah. So yeah, that technology does exist. That I'm not shocked about. But adaptive prescription, that's not how crystals work.
And I'm pretty sure even if that technology existed, it would not be making a debut in $30 glasses that are typically $80.
No, there's no way. There's no way. Not $30, not $80, not even $800. Which again is how much my individual lenses cost. I'm ignoring the cost of the frames. Oh, the plow's fired up. That's good.
Well.
I kept hearing this low rumbling noise. I'm trying to figure what is it. Oh, and the plow's fired up. Which means I may or may not get a text at some point that I may need to quickly run and move my car so I can park in a cleared out spot.
Alright, well, that's not gonna.
So just be advised, we might get interrupted.
Well,
because of that.
That's not gonna affect anything in post. So I'll just cut that part out.
Yeah,
but we basically butchered that topic to death of the fact these glasses are obviously a scam. So shall we move on to our next topic? That is good news.
Yes.
So YouTube New Premium now has a feature to automatically skip sponsored sections of videos.
You're just learning about this now?
Yeah.
I've had this feature for 6 months. At least. I've been able to do this for months.
Well, we never officially talked about it, but it's now a thing.
I guess it is official. Kind of like, I'll get YouTube's latest UI designs before everyone else. I don't know why. It's not like I enrolled in anything. Because I didn't. I'm just a normal user. I didn't enroll in anything special, and yet I'm getting early access to
Maybe
features
because you're
somehow.
a premium subscriber.
Well, it seems like I get them before every other premium subscriber, even. I don't know. It's weird. But, yeah, I've had this functionality forever.
Oh, well, I guess, this is cool, I'll say, but, that's really all I was gotta say. So shall we move on to our next topic? That's some good news. There are 2 topics that are related.
Oh dear. Oh yeah, this is bad. This is real bad.
So, supply is selling out due to high demand in some certain gadgets. So, Western Digital ran out of all the material to make all their hard drives because AI firms have bought all. Yes, that's right. Western Digital is all out of hard drives for this year. And that's after it's just, yeah. Let me repeat this for you, just so you understand what we're talking about. Western Digital is all out of hard drives for this year, and they have contracts backing into 2027 and even 2028.
One second. me a few minutes. I need to move the car. All right.
Alright, so just to repeat in case you forgot, Western Digital ran out of hard drives for 2026 and possibly 2027 and 2028.
That... You'd think that's gotta be impossible, but...
It's not.
Oh my goodness. That's just wild. I mean, I see the second thing you have in the same topic here too, but to me, this is even more wild.
Yeah! Because first it was SSDs, now hard drive, and now Western Digital ran out of hard drives.
Well, they need all the storage!
I can't wait for this AI bubble to burst.
They need all the GPUs, they need all the CPUs, they need all the memory, they need all the storage. Heck, they need all the energy too!
It's like I saw this one meme of Sam said the best thing you could do to contribute to society is to make the internet full of slop and drive up the cost of all computer components. He did that successfully.
Oh my god. The more I see this, the more I am grateful I finished that PC.
Yes.
Because it is done. Even Windows is activated.
Phew. Oh, and by the way, Valve also ran out of Steam Decks because because once again, computer components are in short supply because AI firms are buying all of them up.
You wanna know something that's even scarier? I work in the manufacturing industry. We're having problems sourcing aluminum. Guess why? That's right. We can't even get aluminum to make stuff.
So in other words, you're telling me that the aluminum used to make all these computers is also being taken away from other industries that need it, which means that this is officially getting worse. This is affecting other industries because soda cans are part aluminum, for crying out loud, which means that the cost of soda is probably going to go up too. Which I don't drink soda, luckily. I'm glad I don't drink soda. Oh, and also like beer cans, those will probably get more expensive. Tea cans, if you buy canned tea, or canned coffee even, which most people do not. Unless you're my dad, most people don't seem to like to buy canned coffee. Or even energy drinks, they're going to go up too if the aluminum runs low. Oh, for
electrical wiring in your house,
foil.
What else?
Aluminum foil. That'll get more expensive too.
Yep.
Cookware. Because there's more metals, of course, too. So cookware. Oh, now I know why the price of silver is probably hiking up getting so expensive.
Yeah. What's scary is, and this is how I know this is going to be one of the worst recessions we're ever going to have experienced. These AI companies, the bubble is finally starting to pop. We're watching it pop in slow motion. It's just started. But they're buying up everything. Not just computer. Everything. They're betting. Honestly, at this point, basically our entire economy on this BS.
And of course, if this AI thing
This has been by far the single largest misappropriation in resources in world history.
Yeah, because the Great Depression, how it started was because of the Great Depression started because of World War One, because that was because they needed to get because of which, to be fair, World War One could have been avoided, but they needed to get the farmers needed to grow a lot more resources, so the farmers had a spike in demand, so they started bought new all equipment and whatnot. So it wasn't necessarily the farmers' fault. I mean, there were still some other things that could have been invented, prevented, like Treaty of Versailles. Like, they could have made that a lot easier so the Great Depression didn't kickstart in Europe immediately. But it's like there's nothing that can be done by really anybody besides the AI companies to fix that.
And clearly, there are no signs that is ever going to happen, because they're all being run by these greedy... Man, I want to say it so bad.
They're being... OpenAI still isn't generating profit. Just want to remind you all that.
Yep, and as of right now, their stocks are starting to fall because people are realizing, hey, hold on a second. Is this really all that useful? Yeah, people are starting to finally realize it's snake oil. It's just snake oil they're trying to sell us on, and
it's less useful than your garage door. It keeps going off.
So, no, yeah, I mean, yeah, we're starting to see this affect. I mean, the electronics industry is obviously going to be affected by this whole thing first, but now that apparently aluminum prices are skyrocketing, other raw material prices are skyrocketing. It's making me a bit nervous because, again, I'm trying to build a house here. This is going to be the start. This is already the start of a major downfall, and this one's going to really hurt to claw our way back up from the ground.
Yeah, same. Because we're young. We're gonna get hurt by this probably the worst, if I had to guess.
So, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I have not been sleeping for the past few months.
Yeah, because exactly. Because if there's a recession, then Alpha's screwed.
I legit don't know what else to talk about on this whole thing, because we've made it obvious for so long.
I think since the beginning of the AI boom,
at this point, we've
made it obvious.
Yeah, I'd say so. It's just a matter of, do people listen to us, or do they think we're such idiots and know nothing Joe Schmoes that nah. Who cares what they have
I wonder if people are going to look back, especially in history classes, at older episodes of this podcast when we first started mocking this whole AI BS thing, and realize that we predict the future. Like, I wonder if we're going to become famous in the future for predicting the future of this AI nonsense.
I mean, I predicted the future of Vision
Same,
Pro.
I did that too! Why are we getting credit for that? Like, we seriously...
And we were not
we
far
predicted
off!
the future of the Vision Pro, even when it was rumored. Exactly! And we're...
Yep. It would have an initial sales spike due to excitement, and then legitimately nobody's gonna care. And that's exactly what happened.
Psychic.
Oh gosh. I think I've taken too many red pills. Guys, how do I unplug from the Matrix?
Yeah, I mean, I guess those pills I take every morning are not for allergies, but rather instead to connect me to the Matrix.
So, but I mean, what else is there to say? Because it's not like there's any. They're legitimate. The worst part about the whole thing is there's legitimately nothing we can do.
Exactly.
So it's like, what is there to add? There's legitimately nothing we can do, because even if we try to start boycotting these tech companies, well, they'll find other people. They'll find other rich billionaires that are looking for a cash grab to sell the tech on, and it's just I don't know. There's nothing we can do.
Exactly.
So, other than just deal with it.
I'll go ahead and move on to our next topic. That's also some bad news.
Oh yes,
This is so stupid.
I'm reading the wrong
So Sony released a PS5 lease plan in the United Kingdom so that we can lease a PS5 instead.
Oh gosh, no!
Why would you lease a PS5
Sony?
for crying out loud? Because, I'm sorry, if you want to bring your game, just do cloud gaming. As that means you don't even have to... Cloud gaming is cheaper. Just... No, we don't want to... No one wants to lease an actual console. If they want to lease a console, then they'll do cloud gaming.
Don't pull an HP and NZXT.
This is going to be the next thing where... Because we're psychic now, I have a prediction to make. This subscription is going to fail.
I mean, I was thinking the same about NZXT's Flex rental program. It's still active to this day.
It is. I mean, I predict that this specifically will be active for quite a while, but it's not really going to get that many subscribers.
Guys, don't be stupid. Do not fall for this. This is the worst way you could ever put your money towards. This is why I'm looking to build a house. I don't want to pay rent. Because once that money is spent, it is never coming back. Versus if I build a house, yeah, it's a lot of money up front, and how am I going to pay for all that? Well, I mean, that's what banks are for, but it's a lot, and I get it. But at the end of the day, I'll be owning something that nobody can take away from me.
Exactly, but that's really all I have to say about this. Shall we move on to our next topic?
Yeah, it appears we're back into automotive, and I forgot to put it. Actually, quick question: did we discuss any Ford EV stuff last week, or because I legit do not remember? Okay, we'll add that in at some point. But
what's the Ford thing first?
Ford actually announced some details about their universal EV recently.
What universal EV?
So, I think it was sometime in August, Ford announced that they were going to completely rework how they were going to build electric vehicles. And, because, remember when we discussed the Lightning was canceled? Well, part of it was because they built it basically off of a combustion vehicle. And the problem with a big combustion truck is, well, they are massive, unaerodynamic, and just not efficient at all. And because of that, in order to make the Lightning work, they had to put massive batteries into it. And it's a big truck, so you got to spend more on raw materials. It was just so expensive to produce because it was huge. And Ford found out real quick. I remember when they tweeted about this. They found out going big with electric doesn't work. If you're going to make electric vehicles work, you have to think smaller. That was a tweet from Jim Farley, I think. So that's what this Universal EV project is. They're calling it the Universal EV because they're going to use this platform to build. At first, it's going to be like a small to mid-size-ish pickup truck, something like, I don't know if it's going to be the Maverick or Ranger size, but it's definitely going to be smaller than an F-150. That's what it's going to start out as, and then they're going to build a bunch of crossovers and SUVs off of it. So that's why they're calling it the Universal EV platform.
Well, that's... Honestly, I'm quite excited for that. Because
Same here.
I wanted a Ranger Lightning in the first... Or Maverick Lightning in the first place, so I'm glad to see that Ford is doing it. And on top of that, they're at least keeping the F-150 around. At least they're doing that. And honestly, in its current form, I think it's going to make more sense. Since honestly, Ford is still at the end of the day a gas engine company, and I still feel that it's going to be quite a while before they can completely transition to electric, so they're going to probably have to keep a few gas cars around anyway, and the F-150 is one of the more logical ones to keep gas.
Yeah, that makes more sense. But for the rest of the lineup, like a Maverick, Electric
Oh,
just makes
yes.
so much more sense.
Same. I would love to own a Maverick someday, but that's aside the point. But shall we move on to our next topic?
But, well, I was gonna. Well, do you want me to discuss the details that they
discuss the details,
just announced? So we know a bit about the general architecture. So I can't give a battery capacity size because apparently they're going to offer multiple capacities. So, but I do know that the technology is going to be lithium iron phosphate. And I'm a huge fan of LFP because it's by far one of the most stable battery chemistries out there. You've all heard the FUD about, oh, EV batteries catch fire and all that,
fire
right?
less than gas vehicles, and especially diesels.
Yeah. Well, good luck. Yes. Well, I was going to say, good luck trying to get an LFP battery to catch fire because the chemistry is so stable. They've tried so hard to get this battery to combust. You can't get it to combust unless the source of the fire is external of the battery. It doesn't matter how many times you ram into it, how many times you puncture the cells with nails even, they cannot get these batteries to combust. That's why I'm a huge fan of LFP, because when people tell me, oh, EV batteries that catch fire, well, guess what? We now have a battery technology that doesn't. So shut up. I can say that at least. And so, yeah, this universal EV platform, it's all LFP, the stable chemistry. So there's that piece of information that they've released. Apparently, they're going to do something the Cybertruck did, actually. They're going to change the low voltage architecture. They're swapping the 12-volt battery for a 48-volt battery, which the Cybertruck did. Supposedly, it's supposed to help reduce the amount of material in the wiring. So, there's that. And there was one other detail. What was it? Oh, they're going to change the computer system that handles all of the electronic functions. In pretty much every car today, except for a small handful of new cars on the market, because this is a new technology that's been in development and has been recently released by Rivian, and BMW is going to have something on the market soon. But they call it the zonal architecture, where instead of having multiple, just thousands of computers and control devices for each individual function on the car, they're going to change it so it's one computer that controls everything. So that's the final detail that I know about the Universal EV platform announcements. But to me, it's just so exciting. They're going to start building smaller cars that are going to be more efficient. In fact, they actually claim, they didn't showcase any body designs yet, but they claim when the vehicle designs come out, they're actually supposed to be aerodynamic focused. So they're going to be efficient. The battery chemistry is going to be fairly stable. It's just, I know I'm getting into a lot of nerd stuff, but all of this stuff is actually really good. They are setting themselves up to build a very, very awesome vehicle.
And, maybe they could transition this into some Lincoln EVs to help take over the market that Tesla is getting out of.
Because yes.
Elon Musk is still advertising why you should buy a Tesla Model S and X. Oh my gosh.
And I hate that he's advertising, yeah, you should buy one, but the only reason why he's doing it is just to say you should buy one because it's going to be gone soon.
Oh my gosh. And of course, Elon...
That's the worst marketing you can do.
Of course, it may not be gone. Because it better come back so that way I don't have to do an episode without a shirt.
Oh. Sadly, I think my pants are still going to be on. My pants are still probably going to be on.
And you're going to get to see me without a shirt.
So, but, no, Ford's doing a lot of the right stuff. They are learning a lot from Tesla. And they are putting those into practice. They're legitimately getting serious. I thought that they were literally going to start backing down from EVs altogether because market conditions and they were losing so much money on them. But no, after seeing all these details, no, they are fully committed. They legitimately are going full force into this.
That's good to see. And shall we move on to our next topic that goes hand in hand with this?
Speaking of automakers going full force into EVs, I was genuinely shocked to see this tweet.
Despite lower sales,
but
than the F-150 Lightning, which got discontinued.
Yeah. But basically this let's talk about Ford's competitor GM. Apparently, we found a tweet where GM is completely doubling down on the Sierra EV and Silverado EV.
I mean, they're some of the best pickup truck EV pickups out there, so...
Well, I mean, given what they charge for them, they better be.
You can buy BMW M cars for that kind of money.
Yeah. But, I mean, I stated this in my Silverado EV review, that if you actually legitimately want to do real work with an electric pickup truck, GM's the only one that actually can do it with endurance. Because the other trucks can do work. It's just they don't have the endurance that the Silverado and the Sierra do. Now, albeit, it comes at the cost of needing 200 plus kilowatt hour batteries. But that's because they're giant trucks. It's like, how else are you going to tackle the problem? So, I thought there's no way GM's making any money off of this, but apparently, no, they're still committed to producing these things.
Well, that's good to know, but shall we move on to our next topic that's actually some very good news? Also?
Well, depends on who you ask. I actually have a very mixed opinion take on this, but I can understand why everybody thinks this is good
Okay,
news.
so I'll explain. So the EPA is banning auto start stop, aka eco mode, in cars. So like my car is in eco mode, and the EPA is banning that. And the reason why they're banning that is because the problem is that it automatically turns the engine on and off, which is very bad for the starter, which uses it up. So that way, that is a form of planned obsolescence.
And that's fair. That's I totally understand that, but it's because I own Stardust is the reason why I am not fully on board with outright banning auto start stop technology.
I don't know if are they doing it on hybrid? Are they making that law for hybrids too, or just gas cars?
Anything with a gas engine. That's the unfortunate thing. So, now here's the thing. I agree, normal gas vehicles, as much as they'd prove to benefit the most from having their engines not running for a fuel economy standpoint, because, well, if I would think it'd be obvious, but I do understand that, yes, it does put a lot more wear on the starter motor, and it can cause them to fail prematurely. I've heard of plenty of horror stories of that type of thing happening, and for the longest time, I was not particularly a fan of that. until I bought Stardust. Now, Stardust does have this auto start stop technology, but I was genuinely surprised that GM actually decided to tweak the system to restart the engine differently than the gas V6 only model. In case you guys didn't know, my car is a hybrid. It does have a battery in the back. But to my surprise, the way that my car actually restarts the engine, it's not with the starter motor. It restarts the engine with the electric traction motor, the drive motor. Which that motor is meant for that type of load.
Well, that I understand the point of hybrids too. I'm not personally a hybrid guy, so I mean I get it, but I mean there are two sides that I get it.
So, but yeah, effectively the reason why I'm okay the way my car does it is it's not using, I mean, I'm so surprised. My car actually still does have a normal starter motor, and I think it's because the engine needs to run in order to close the contactors to engage the battery initially. I don't know. I'm just speculating how that works, but it does not use the engine's starter motor to restart the engine. It uses the drive motor, the traction motor, powered by the high voltage battery to restart the engine. And in that case, the concern of premature starter failure, it's gone. And so now I don't have to worry about my engine not restarting when I'm sitting at an intersection. Because the way it's designed, that it's just not going to fail like that. And at the same time, now I can also get those fuel economy benefits by not having the engine idle when I'm not moving anywhere. And so there is a way to do it right. And I'm surprised that GM found it with, at least in my car in particular. Because, and I can confirm, it definitely is the drive motor, because I've been in other loaner cars that are gas only, and there is a drastic difference in terms of even feel on how the engine starts. And so I am 100% certain that it is using my electric traction motor instead of the starter motor. But and because GM did it right with the Cross, we've done it right. Why are we now banning it outright when we finally figured out how to do it right and reliably? That's my problem. We figured it out. And while, yeah, okay, the gas cars are going to be screwed because they don't have an electric traction motor to restart the engine like that. They have to rely on the starter motor, which is not meant for doing that all the time. So I can understand, yeah, get rid of the technology for that, because you're just asking for trouble there. But in hybrids, why? Why does it have to go for them?
Especially because there's lots of other stuff that the EPA could ban, like CVTs. That is one thing I support getting fully banned.
At least, I found another nuance. Actually, I found a CVT that does not use a belt and
Okay,
pulleys.
well, maybe banning CVTs that use belt and pulleys.
That I'm all for. CVTs that use belts and pulleys, junk, trash it. Get all of those Nissans with those CVTs off the road. They're just awful.
If you have a CVT that uses a belt and pulley that lasts for over 60,000 miles, you are more lucky than if you won $1 billion from the lottery.
Yeah. No, yeah, belt-driven CVTs are terrible. So I am all in favor of outright banning that. But the auto start-stop thing, leave it for hybrids. At least just for hybrids. Because we figured it out. We solved the problem.
Well, that's interesting. But shall I move on to our next topic?
We're in rumor territory now. Back to the iPhone 17e. So apparently we have an improved image processing. Isn't that really due to just the fact that it's getting a chip upgrade, though? That's what I thought. 18 megapixels.
Yeah, center stage, apparently.
Okay. Possibly an additional color aside from black and white. Speculated to be lavender. Was this a John Prosser leak?
Maybe.
Oh, I was getting myself confused of the fake rumor. Included MagSafe support.
I'm glad to see that.
I still don't know why they got rid of it from the 16E.
Especially
it should have had it from the beginning. Yeah. So, yeah, good thing we're putting MagSafe back in the iPhones now. All right. 4,000 milliamp hour battery. That's not bad for a budget phone. Well, an Apple budget phone. C1X, that's their modem chip if I'm not mistaken. 256 gigabytes of storage base. I actually think that's being a bit optimistic.
Yeah, same. Because this is Apple we're talking. Especially because of the shortage.
Yeah, dude. Maybe are we remembering what's going on in the industry right now? It's not like Western Digital just ran out of hard drives or anything.
In February, mind you. Did you see Sam Tucker's video about the supply about this?
I did not. I was going to watch it at some
you know what
point,
he said?
Oh man, I
want to
have
know my
to.
favorite quote from that video. He said,
"What is it?
The only thing that's preventing this from being a real apocalypse is that there's not enough RAM to start the nukes." Yeah, there's not enough components. We don't even have enough resources now to make nukes to make this a real apocalypse. So I guess that's the only good silver lining.
As sad as it is. So, yeah, I think that 256 gig base storage configuration, somebody may have been smoking something.
Or else they completely forgot. Maybe Apple's gonna plan this a few months. Maybe Apple was initially planning for this when they started planning the 17E months before this whole thing started happening. But yeah, there's no way we're getting 256 gigabytes now.
Imagine for iPhone 18, due to the RAM-pocalypse, we end up actually falling back from 256 gigs base back to 128.
I don't know what's going on with that. Something's... Although, to be fair, that the economy will have crashed anyway. Probably crashed anyway, because they're going to delay it until March 2020. Yeah. So.
Who's going to have the money to buy iPhones? So
Depends. Depends on how this affects people's personal wallets.
We're totally not depressed or anything.
Because, I mean, let's think about this from a realistic standpoint. So, let's say the stock of these AI companies falls. Now, worst case scenario is that people sell it and the stock plummets, and we just have shortages of resources, which drives cost up, so we can't really get resources. That's probably the best case scenario that'll come out of this. Worst case scenario is that the prices of everything are going to go up. People lose their jobs slowly because of it, and then I don't know if this will be as bad as the Great Depression, but
well, given how all in everybody with money is on this whole thing, I'm not keeping my hopes up. Nonetheless, speaking of potential unrealistic rumors, how about the next one?
Fake rumor about the iPhone 18 just a USB-C port for a new port. It's only one guy on Twitter that reported this, and there's only one problem. Apple can't legally do that in the EU anyway.
Yeah, they can't do it in the EU. And so if they were to put MagSafe on... Well, if they were to put a charging port other than USB-C on their phone, now they're complicating their production line.
And mind you, like all their phones come out for all the regions come out of the same factories, so
yeah, it just makes sense they stick with USB-C. Then they can market. They can at least market. Hey, all of our accessories work with iPhone, iPad, and Mac.
Exactly, but that's why it's probably a fake rumor. But I don't really have anything more to say about this other than that. Yeah, that's not realistic. But shall we move on to our next topic, which is some sad news? So
Okay,
Tesla
what's
delayed
this?
adding CarPlay due to their cars due to compatibility issues with Apple Maps in iOS 26.
You know what? I'm actually not too sad about this, and here's why. It means they're still looking into doing it.
Same. Now, granted, if they could do this and bring back the S and the X, then that will be a true miracle. And then Alpha gets to do a show about pants.
Gosh. Don't remind me.
Because I believe that Tesla will still bring them back.
I still don't due to the delusional CEO at the moment, but
what?
I digress.
So the budget MacBook that we were talking about
budget
earlier,
MacBook.
So it was rumored to start $700 now, but $700 initially, but now it might possibly start at $600.
I think that price is going in the wrong direction.
That's another thing I worry about too. Is I worry this new MacBook will have to be priced a little bit higher, so that way the MacBook Air is going to be a little bit close to the MacBook Air. Because there's no price reduction on computer components right now.
No, there is no way this thing is starting at $600. There's no way.
Unless they put an A4 processor in it, or some really old chip like that. Or else if they put like 8 megabytes of RAM. But wait, that would probably still cost
And 1 gigabyte of storage.
But wait, that would probably still cost them a ton of money too, if they did that. If they put... How about 1 kilobyte of RAM? You think that could probably get at $600, alright?
And then just in case, to complement it, we'll give it 2 megs of storage.
Yeah.
That perfect. That's how we'll get it down to $600.
Sure, they'll have to run Mac. Actually, I don't even think the original. I actually think that's technically worse than the original Macintosh. I'm pretty sure. In fact, let me look up how Macintosh 128K original RAM capacity. The minimum it's an eighth of a megabyte to 0.125 megabyte. It's about 1.125 megabyte. It's an eighth of a megabyte.
So it's 125 kilobytes.
So yes, they would have to make it probably worse than the original Macintosh. They'd have to make it as powerful as their Power Bricks, technically. Because the Power Bricks do have small chips on the inside, which reminds me, Power Bricks are probably going to get more expensive now, too.
Oh, gosh. Let's not get more expensive.
You know how Apple likes to charge with their accessories. Pun intended.
You know, this might be the first Mac they actually stop including the power brick.
I would not be... Which, that's a terrible idea, as we discussed earlier, because people actually need more power. Most USB-C ports can't handle a Mac charging, but yeah.
But I mean, when you think about it, the amount of power that this A-series chip has, do they really need a powerful charger?
I mean, no, but to charge the battery, yes, but otherwise not really. I mean, I'm not saying they need a powerful charger, but They need more than like 5 or 10 watts, I'll say that. They need probably 20 or 30.
Like maybe 20 even.
They probably need that.
I'd say like 20 watts should be enough.
Yeah, so that's probably... But yeah, no, there's... Actually, we might not even get a charging cable, because, you know, all the USB-C cables are being bought probably, too.
yeah, I'm sure all the AA companies are buying up all of the USB-C
Oh, I realized.
cables.
You know how much documentation these AI components have to come with? Therefore, paper prices are going to go up, and so will ink prices. HP ink prices will probably especially or HP ink prices will probably become the cheapest out there. Or HP ink will become reasonable. So paper will get more expensive. That mean...
Oh, it is a good thing we use a laser printer.
Oh, toner might get... If they use toner, then that toner is probably going to get more expensive too.
Oh, we legitimately use a laser printer.
Phew.
So, yeah, that's really nice on the maintenance. Just not nice when actually trying to buy the machine itself.
Yeah, we got...
But
oh, cardboard will probably also get more expensive too.
Oh yeah, because they got to ship all
Which
these
means
AI
that all
computers.
packages, everything is going to go up if cardboard goes up. Tape prices...
Even shipping's going to get more expensive. And now, instead of getting my packages a week later, I can probably wait until next year for my packages to arrive.
Yeah, I'll probably have to wait 6 months. Tape will get more expensive. Which means adhesive will get more expensive. Which means glue will get more expensive. What's next? So you're going to have to buy... Water will get more... Yeah, everything's going to get more expensive.
We're totally not depressed.
I'm not, because this isn't my fault problem. I mean, it is my... I mean, it's not one that I created. If anything, we're going to be... If anything, imagine if the economy crashes and we predicted it. Think of how much money we'll make. Or think of how famous...
How? Nobody will
Think
have
of
any
how
money.
famous... Oh, wait! Spreaker might have to shut down.
Oh, yeah, true. So they'll shut down our podcast.
What if YouTube has to shut down because of this? Actually, they'll probably do everything they can to keep YouTube alive. YouTube.
Well, it's a good thing I got my archival
Oh, I
backup.
gotta get one of those, yeah, because... Oh, wait a second. But, sir... Wait a second, but I can't buy hard drives to build a server.
Oh, they're not even in the server yet. They're still in the airport time capsule.
Okay, maybe I can get that working, but yeah, they'll probably do everything they can to save YouTube. If the Internet Archive will probably do... Well, worst case scenario, the Internet Archive will probably step in to save all the content on YouTube. Because YouTube's a top...
That is a good point.
If worse comes to worse, the U.S. government will probably try to help too to save all the content on YouTube and other governments too, because YouTube is such a crucial... YouTube has so much content history of the world, basically, that they will do everything they can to preserve YouTube. So we'll probably be safe there.
So
before we get too off topic with talking about how everything's gonna get more expensive, shall I finish up our 2 more topics?
Yeah, what do we have? Studio Display 2.
Which might release
90
this spring.
hertz due to technical limitations. Okay. And Mini LED. Oh, right. It's still using LCD. I forgot. So it's finally getting a display tech upgrade. And they're going to swap the A13 for an A19
Probably a good
Pro.
idea with the iPhone released in the previous decade and is still curved fully.
So, yeah. And it's also probably still not going to be reasonably priced.
Its prices will probably go up too because of...
Yeah.
because of the...
Well, TSMC is busy, so it's going to go up because they can't put the A19 into it.
Oh. Shall we move on to our next topic in relation to the shortage of computer components?
Oh, yes. We're finally getting some computer things being delayed.
So the PS6, in theory, because Sony releases them every... I'm not even joking. They release new consoles every 6 to 7 years. Don't do it.
Oh, gosh.
Don't do it, otherwise I'll have to send you back to middle school. Which is what I've started telling my friends every time they say that.
Send them back to preschool. That's
yeah, but Sony might possibly be delaying the PS... So we're about due for a PS6 right now. But Sony might possibly be delaying the PS6 release until 2029 due to the shortage of computer components. Only problem is, will anybody have money for a PlayStation at that point?
Well, I mean, how long did the Great Depression last?
9 years.
So yeah, it'll probably be about 18 years before anybody can afford anything again.
And then, of course, immediately after the Great Depression was World War II. So, then all the factories were converted into wartime resources anyway. Wartime factories, war material factories anyway, so...
Again, totally not depressed or anything.
I mean, we probably won't have an actual war because of this. And again, the Great Depression did start because of World War One, so mostly. So at least we do have some reassurance that maybe this won't be quite as bad as the Great Depression, but
I don't know, just because of how all in way too many people have been about the AI stuff.
I mean, this is going to be the worst crash we'll see in our lifetime. This will be worse than the '08 crash, definitely. And this will probably be the worst one we'll see.
Oh, yeah. And out of all of the I told you so moments, this is going to be my least favorite one.
Maybe it'll become our favorite because it might become notable. I don't know. And maybe these big tech companies will realize what they're doing.
Well, some of them are already getting the memo. I mean, like Dell, Mozilla, Microsoft.
Now we just need Apple to join that list. OpenAI is probably going to go bankrupt anyway.
Yep.
I think it's safe to assume that OpenAI is going bankrupt.
Sam Altman is just a sad thing.
And how is he going to raise his son, though? Because he raises his son with ChatGPT.
That's why I said Sam Altman is just a sad thing. I think it'd be disrespectful to call him a human being if he can't even raise a human being.
That's true. Because someday we'll at least be able to raise human beings.
Phew.
Wonder if we'll be doing that by the time if we'll be doing that in 10 years.
I don't know if our Great Depression 2.0 comes in. I don't know how anyone would be able to
People afford to have kids during the Great Depression. They didn't have much, but they still had kids because technically having babies doesn't cost any money. It's just that you might not be able to buy it's just that food and water will be tight, but technically having babies doesn't cost any money.
Unless you go through a hospital.
Oh, well, all the hospitals will probably be closed anyway. I mean, there will be some that'll be open, but no one.
Yeah, this is just awful. think I had enough depresso for one evening. Is there any good news?
Oh, we're out of topics.
Anything?
Oh, and
Yeah,
I
we
have
are
some
out of
good
topics.
news is that because I'm going to become likely to become an electrician when I grow up, at least I have a little bit more job security. In that, because you have to have electricians in order to run society. And I mean, you work in a metal machining shop, so you do have to be able to machine metal, so in order for society to function. So we might be okay. Maybe everybody else will have to start hauling their garbage to a dump like you youpers.
Yeah, guess what? Everyone, deal with it. We take our own trash out. Just
Why
fine.
don't other people? People should seriously take their own garbage out to the dump. Like it's. I assume it's cheaper to do it that way.
Well, then they have to think about it.
Because it's probably just like once a week on your own schedule, mind you. You just gotta go haul it, round it up in your truck, and go out and to go to the dump, which I don't even know where my local dump is. And dump it.
For me, I'm not going to explicitly say where it is, but it's not far from my house.
Yeah, I don't even know where my local one is. I assume there is one, but everyone around here basically is trash service, so...
Yep, people will have to start taking out their own trash. They'll have to start cooking their own meals.
Oh, yeah. Maybe even grow seeds for their meals.
Potentially.
If this AI thing winds up resulting in the worst thing, then that was one of my Acer desktop that just fell over. That will probably result in a massive cultural change afterwards.
Yep.
We still have 36 minutes left to go.
I legitimately have nothing at this point.
Well, given that somebody has a video to script and laundry to empty out, maybe we should just end the show right here.
That's not the worst idea.
Shall we do it?
Sure.
Alright. As always, thank you all for tuning into another episode of the iTunes Fan Podcast. As always, I'm Teddy Macker from the iTunes Fanboy.
And my name is Alpha DeWolf.
As always, we say peace out for now and hope to see you all in the next episode. Take care, everybody.